a chairde fáilte as. So our sample answer for today's lesson then is looking at the languages, what we like about the language and what we find challenging about the language. So let's get you started on this. So I'm going to pick French. So Sheila go will on French is my other subject, by the way, but we don't talk about it. So Sheila, I think go will on. Now we want to say the French language, right? So we've got an FH. So what we're going to do is we're going to pronounce it from the letter R onwards, because we know in Irish our FHs are silent letters. So I think go will on Rankish. That French is jacker, tough. But there's that nice expression we learned in the previous video. Goilior means enough. So jacker, goilior, tough enough, tricky enough, and it really brings a normalness to your Irish. We've also had this word here, bhealach. I'm going to pop the letter V above that for you there for the pronunciation. So bhealach, in a way, in a manner, bhealach. Tá an teanga nos an bhearla. So let's go for this one. The language is. Tá an teanga, the language is. Nos an bhearla, similar to English, like English. And again, it's nos an bhearla, and we're going to pop the letter V above that BH, nos an bhearla. Is féidir cúpla focail a oibriú amach. Now let's get your infinitive done with this one, right? A oibriú amach means to work out. So cúpla focail a oibriú amach. It's an infinitive. So we have cúpla focail a oibriú amach. A oibriú amach means to work out, same structure as English, a oibriú amach, to work out, and cúpla focail, a couple of words. So to work out a couple of words. And now let's go back and get the first part here, right? Is féidir liom, I am able. So is féidir liom, I am able, cúpla focail a oibriú amach, to work out a few words. And we're going to put in bunaithe, don't pronounce that T, bunaithe, based, bunaithe an Merla, based on English. And you should be, because French is 33% made up of English words, or the other way around, English is actually made up of 33% French words. So that's why when you see words like le weekend, you can work out what that actually means in English. So bunaithe an Merla, based on English. You can come at me in the comments about French, I'll fight you all, it's fine. So an umlawn, right? An umlawn means all in all, in total. So an umlawn. Tá an gramadach casta go leor. So we know an gramadach, the grammar, and tá is. And then we've got that nice word, casta go leor. So we've got casta, tricky, tough, difficult, and go leor, enough. Casta go leor, it's tricky enough. Tá ruddy go fólan, and we can use this for pretty much all of the subjects as well. So tá ruddy ann. We know that ruddy is things. So tá, there are ruddy things. Ann go fóil, still there. So there are still things, there are still things. Nach will me kinche. Fuhu. That I'm not certain about. That I'm not certain about. That I'm not sure about. So we can use that for pretty much all of our subjects. There are still things that I'm not certain about. Buena musaj as apana. Now I like this because this can lead us on to technology. So buena musaj as, I make use of. Buena musaj as, I make use of apana, apps. And then mo guhan, on my phone. Mo guhan. More hampla, for example, tá folklore Frankische a gomsa. So let's go for folklore Frankische. A French dictionary. So folklore is the word for a dictionary. What do you get in a dictionary, folks? You get focal, you get words, which is why you have the word folklore. It's like a word holder, that's what we call it in Irish. So tá folklore Frankische. I have a French dictionary on my phone. You can also say éistem le, I listen to. Éistem le TV5, I listen to TV5 mo guhan, on my phone. So on my phone. And then the comma here just means as well, comma. And we're not pronouncing that letter T, aren't we? So comma. We never pronounce the T after the letter H. Tá sé an-áisiúil. Now I like the word an-áisiúil. An-áisiúil means very handy, very useful. So tá sé, it is an-áisiúil, very handy. Go háirithe, especially. So go háirithe, especially. Mo bhealach. And this has the same structure as English. On my way. Mo bhealach, on my way. Chun na scoile. Now I'm going to do something here for you that's quite impressive from an examiner's point of view. We could say good dí on scoil, good dí on scoil, to school. But I'm just going to take that out and I'm going to replace it with chun na scoile, which means the same thing, to school. But it's a tischel ginneach. Now you don't need to know about it just yet, that's fine, but just know that chun na scoile means to school, to the school, and it's quite fancy. Speaking of fancy, I'm going to throw in another nice little phrase for you as well. What's your word for listen in Irish? What verb would you mostly use in Irish? We would probably say éist or éisteacht, wouldn't we? Tá méid éisteacht le, éistim le, is moilim éisteacht le. And they're all words that we can use for to listen. I'm going to go for something a little bit different, but not difficult. That's the thing. Cluas a thuairt do means to give an ear to. But it's a very fancy way of saying to listen. It's identical. It means the exact same thing. It's just a little bit different. So if you pop on the front of it, is féidir lum. It means I am able. Cluas a thuairt, to listen or to give an ear. Don nuacht, to the news. Now we have to be careful here, right? Remember, what you tell me technically can spur on another question. So if you say I can listen to the news, I might say to you, they want to talk about the news now. So what's happening in the news? So you have to be very, very careful about what you're going to tell me. So you might want, if you want to talk about podcasts, if you have a podcast that you listen to, you could say I can listen to fod crealty. Fod crealty. Now fod, remember, get that letter F sound for those PHs. Do fod crealty to podcasts. Or you can just keep it nice and simple and say I can listen do cheol to music. So it's very handy, especially on my way to school. I can listen to music, sachanga, in the language. So lots of ways of talking about it there. And again, we would look at spurring on a question there about talking about music. So we use these to manipulate the conversation to where we want to go. Right, that is your sample answer done on languages. What I'm going to take now is something a little bit more maths and sciencey, what you like about it and what you don't like about it. A nice, short, simple video. So follow me over to the next video and we'll get you done. Go to me and Magov, slán inis.